Hey everybody, it's Pedros and welcome to Road to Santat episode 6. This week, a fair amount of progress has been made towards the Santat. This time, last week I had about 16,000 cannibals. I'm now down to about 5,000, which I've been playing quite a lot. I've been getting like about 250 bones a day, kind of on average, which is alright. 300 bones a day is a pretty good average that I can kind of like keep. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do. But if we go into the bank, we will see that I currently have 1,612 Frost Dragon Bones in the bank. They're a little bit under 18k right now, but I really want to try and sell them for 18k because whenever I do a skill or anything that involves gathering a large amount of one thing, like when I did mining, just as I go to sell them, they appear to go into like a dip, and it's really annoying. So I'd like to see those get back up, but obviously I don't control the prices. A lot of green charms now, 3.7k, and then 1.5 crimsons and just over 1 golds. Blue's still lagging behind a bit, but oh well. Just broke under 1,000 spirit bird pouches. Not that that's particularly interesting, like 200 coins each. I just decided to randomly buy a load of antifires, and every now and then I'll just go buy some more prayer pots. So you do actually burn through prayer pots really quickly doing this, a lot quicker than I normally would have expected. In terms of like the kind of rare drops that it gives you, I use the Ring of Wealth when I'm killing them. I've had a tooth half key, and a loop half key, and an uncut dragon stone, and those are my rare drops. I also pick up the rune longswords because I'm pretty sure they were, at least when I last checked, worth more than the dragon bones. So whenever I see one, I pick one up just to increase the amount of money that I get per trip. In terms of my levels, what I do is, probably mentioned this before, is I train attack, defense, and then strength. Which you can see, strength is the one I'm working at right now. 250k to go. Nearly leveled up ranged, and from 61 to what will be 79 is all off cannoning Frost Dragons since the 20th of December. So 61's what, like 400k XP, 300k maybe. So I've got quite a lot of XP off that. But then again, there are a lot more effective ways to train ranged. And then hit points, as always, or constitution, is always lagging behind a little bit. I need to get back into farming. I always forget. Literally, when I'm at school, I think, oh yeah, when I get home, I'll buy some maple trees and I'll start growing those. Get home, completely forget about it. But one day I've got to do that. But what I want to talk about this video, and it'll probably go on for a little bit longer than the normal video. So what I might end up doing is I might put some clips of me killing frost dragons over the top, just so you have something to watch if you're still watching the video. I wanted to talk about the Tazar City update and the new fight caves. Initially on release, there are a lot of ideas flying around about the different kind of what level will the new Jad be, what techniques will it have, what attacks will it have, and it's pretty much been confirmed in way of through the video that they put on their channel, that the new Jad is going to like be some kind of weird spider coming out some lava. And initially everyone was like, oh no, that's going to be the quest boss, but it only shows up for about half a second, and I don't think that this quest is going to be like a medium quest, or a need to mediate quest rather. I don't think the quest boss is going to be something that they'd want to hide that much, so I'm pretty sure that the new Jad boss is going to in some way come out of that lava, or maybe it'll stay in the lava, but that'll make melee impossible, unless of course you can attack it from the very edge. But still, I wouldn't have thought they'd do that. What I really wanted to get onto was how the new fight cave is going to work. If they follow the same pattern that they do with the current fight caves, in case you didn't know, you get the 22, then you get two 22s, then you get a 45, then you get a 45 and a 22. Then you get a 45 and two 22s, then you get two 45s. If you can see how that pattern's going. And that is why once you get to the 360, on, I can't remember what wave it is, you then go through all of the waves beforehand, but with a 360 constantly there, until you get 2 360s, at which point it upgrades into a Jad. But if it follows that pattern, that means that once you get to Jad, you'd have to do another 62 waves with a Jad constantly there, with 2 Jads, no, with 1 Jad constantly there, and the second to last wave would be 2 Jads, and then this new boss. And that is just ridiculous, because the level 360s, the one that use Mage, you have to have Protect Mage on, because they can hit about 600 really accurately. So that would mean if the Jad used a range attack, was attacking with Mage, you either get hit by the ranged, or you get hit by the Mage. And there's no way to avoid the damage. And the whole point of the fight caves is, if you've got the skills, and you've got the ability to know how the fight caves work, you can avoid taking most of the damage. Because that's what makes it a mini game. If they turn it into, you've just got to hope you don't take enough damage, then it becomes random, a bit like the pit in agility. But I think the way they're probably going to do it is it's going to be completely different. Not completely different in the sense that it's not going to follow that pattern, but they did mention that there were going to be new kinds of monsters in there. I think somewhere they said that they were going to be similar to the current fight caves, but not the same. In the article, they the prefix to all of the monsters in the fight caves is it Tuz? It's Tuz, and then like Ket, and then it'd be like Tuzket Jad or something like that, or whatever. And I think the new one for these ones is like Tuz Hawk or something like that. So what that makes me think is that you're not going to see the fiery bat, and you're not going to see the chubby 45 thing, or they might just be the Tuz Fuck versions. It sounds really weird. I don't know what the actual name is. That are like harder. So it might just be the fight caves as they are now, except the Jad is just replaced with this super boss, and all of the monsters are harder versions of what it is now. So the techniques will stay the same, but you just have to like kill them for longer, if you get what I mean. Like, it won't be a level 22 bat, it'll be a level 45 bat or something like that. But the only problem is the other pattern that it also follows is that it doubles. Other than 22 to 45, it goes 22, 45, 90, 180, 360, and then it should be 720. But I seem to remember reading somewhere that when they released the fight caves, and when they released Jad, there was something about how the combat was coded that they couldn't give a monster 720, so they gave it 702, which is like kind of the other way around. And if it were to follow that pattern, that would mean that the new boss would have to be level 1404. Which, just to put into context, Nex, currently the highest level monster in the game, is level 1001, and it has 30,000 life points, right? So that would mean that if it kind of scaled up, that this new Jad would have to have tens of thousands of life points, which just isn't going to be the case, because Nex is designed for group killing. That's why it's got high life points, because a group of people can put out enough damage to kill that, but one person can't. That's why it's incredibly difficult to solo, because a lot of people think with Nex, oh, it's because you run out of brews. It's not because you run out of brews, it's because you run out of the other potions. Because if you want to boost your stats or renew your prayer, because the fight is going on for so long, you just run out. But anyway, I don't think that it's going to be like that. I think what we're looking at here is, it's not going to be higher level than Nex, but I think it's going to be about a level 900. It's going to have maybe 10,000 life points, and I think what makes it such a high level is going to be that it is super accurate, but like the current Jad, every attack is blockable with a prayer. And I think the best way they could do to introduce that would be that currently Jad, you can trap behind rocks. You can go on the other side of the elite rock or the other one, and you can just sit there. You can log out because you're not in combat. I think the way they should do it is they should, to make it more of a challenge, they should in some way make it so either the room doesn't have any safe spots, or it can like teleport. And you might be like, oh, that's bullshit. I mean, if it can teleport, then you're like thinking you're safe, and then suddenly it's behind you and it hits you with a melee. That's not, I don't think they'll be that cruel. I think what they should do is they should make it so it can like jump, because it looks like a spider, so maybe they can make it jump, and it will jump, it will land, and it will use the same attack style that it last used. So say it attacked you with a mage before you trapped it, and then it jumps and it uses mage again, so you know what attack style it's going to be, because they said that any player with less than 90 combat stats are going to find progress almost impossible. They're clearly wrong, because every time Jagex says something like that, they're always wrong, just because they underestimate the skills of players who are good at PvM. But they're going to need something that makes it so if you have less than 90 you can't do it, because currently people with 1 defense can get through the fight caves. It's been done a handful of times, not too many, but a couple of people have done it, because you can pretty much avoid all melee damage, which is what defense protects against, by just shooting with a crossbow before they even get close to you. So what I think they're going to have to do is they're going to make it so you're going to have to be able to tank. You're at some point going to be taking damage no matter what. Not as in you're just getting ripped and you've got to constantly brew, but as in for about 10 seconds there's like some kind of, not necessarily unavoidable damage, but unavoidable attacks. Like there'll be a monster that will hit through protection prayers but doesn't hit that high, if you know what I mean. Like it might be a ranged creature that hits like a 50 every time and it's got reasonably slow attack speed. Something like that, because it's got to be hard. The way they've hyped this up, it's got to be hard, and if it isn't, then they've let everyone down. A lot of high level PVMers got really excited by this, because a lot of PVMers, which in case you don't know means player versus monster, so player versus monsters, whenever a lot of them, they just unsubscribe until a new update comes out that's around a boss, and they resubscribe and they do it until they get bored or there's a glitch with it. And Nex and this are the two things that have brought more people back to the game than anything else, because the way they've hyped this up, saying that you're gonna have to give in a fire cape to even get in there. They said, the way they word it in the article is they say something about fighting 2 Jads. They don't actually say you will fight 2 Jads. They word it as in, think about how hard 2 Jads would be. This is going to be harder, if you see what I mean. So a lot of people have got very excited for this, and if they make it something that's easily safe spottable, there's going to be massive negative feedback that might take away most of the high level players away from the game, because a lot of the high level players feel that most of the updates recently have been a bit not aimed at low levels but aimed at mid levels that they're just not interested in. As far as I can tell, you need to do the quest to do the minigame, and so the requirements for the minigame is a fire cape, the quest, and then you can go in. And you only have to give 1 fire cape in. It's like you give a fire cape and then you have access to it. It's not like, oh, I died, here's another fire cape, oh, I died, here's another fire cape. A lot of people have been stocking up on fire capes, incidentally, which sucks to be them, because now they've got like 50 fire capes, but they can go PKing or something in. I don't know, I'll probably end up doing the quest if it's not too hard, because I'll always want that option open to me. One day I will get a fire cape. I've obviously, with my cannon, I've been getting the ranged level, but I don't know, it's just like so much of a time investment that, like, if I like slip up on the Jad and I get 1 hit, that's like an hour and 10 minutes just gone. It's like, oh, thanks for that. Give me 8k toggle, I'm on my way. Yeah. Which brings you on to another point. Toggle. Is the reward going to be toggle? Because right now it's 16,064, I think, for doing the Jad. 16,064 toggle and a fire cape. So what's this new one going to be? Are we talking 50,000, 100,000 toggle? Because if it's too much, Onyx is going to crash, because everyone's going to be buying Onyxes after they've got their super fire cape. And talking about the fire cape itself, the new fire cape itself, they've announced that it's going to have a +8 strength bonus, which currently is higher than the completionist cape, but I'm pretty sure Jagex would never let the completionist cape become the second best cape. They're probably going to do what they have done with previous updates, which is we release a new cape, let's apply the effects of that cape to the completionist cape and make it a little bit better. Currently the high strength bonus of the cape is the current fire cape with 6, but then what they did was they thought, no, we can't have that, give the completionist cape 6.5. So I'm guessing maybe this the completionist cape will be updated to have 8.5, maybe even 9. And what does this mean? This means that there are going to be some insane max hits. People like So Solid 2K, I believe I think that's his YouTube account, who go to Castle Wars and do maxes. If he does max hits, if he's got a completionist cape, like that strength bonus. Oh no, you can't use it in Castle Wars. But that was stupid of me, wasn't it? I literally just tried to justify using a cape in Castle Wars. But things like Duel Arena, which even though you don't have the profound armor from Castle Wars, which is mainly what makes people hit so high, I'm getting tongue tied over here. You can have extremes in duels, as far as I can remember. So in a duel, people can wear their max gear. They've got this completionist cape with possibly a +9 strength bonus on. That can be the difference between a Maul hitting, I think the max hit is something like a 1,200 to now a 1,350, which is just ridiculous. Think about how much damage that is. 1,350 damage in one hit. And that's a chaotic Maul. Think about stuff like the Dragon Dagger special. You can hit 600 with that in Castle Wars, so possibly in a PvP situation, obviously you can only have supers, but supers combined with a completionist cape with a 9 strength bonus, you could be hitting 700 on a weapon that costs 20k. This update is going to have a massive effect on high level players, and I think Jagex have got to play it right, because if they get it wrong, like I said, there's going to be massive negative feedback, and it could be one of those things that doesn't kill the game, but kills the game for a lot of high level players, because recently, like I said, a lot of high level players have been feeling left out, that all these updates have been for medium players, and all they have to look forward to are these PVM updates, and if they don't get them right, people aren't going to be happy. That about does it for today. I don't know how long that was, probably a fair bit. If you like the video, please do give it a like, if you haven't already subscribed, and I'll see you soon.